you for another international session. My name is Jenny Anchondo, and I'm here with you as your host and moderator to guide you through the session and just help you to get the most out of it. We do these live on Thursdays, and then the replays are up by the following Wednesday. So listen, if this is your first time, I can just tell you that there is a whole library on the YouTube channel. I'll tell you more about that at the end, but let me tell you about our guest today. She is Nancy Alvarez, who is the head of government contracting programs in DFW. So if you're not in DFW, that's totally okay. What she's about to explain really does pertain to you no matter where you are living. She's got some really great information. I've actually interviewed her before and hosted a session with her before, and she's quite knowledgeable. So the topic is SBA programs and services, how to start, grow, expand, and recover your small business. So this is actually part one of a two-part series. So you're going to catch part one today and really sort of learn about what the SBA does. And then next week, we put it all into action. I tell you a little bit more about Nancy and her background, just so you kind of understand where she's coming from. She's really instrumental in providing leadership, management, and oversight to optimize the deployment of SBA's federal contracting programs to the small business communities within a 72 county geographical area. I happen to be in the Metroplex as well. And let me tell you, we have a lot of counties, we have a lot of cities here. She is doing this in English and in Spanish. So that's part of what makes her really unique. She is a champion for women. She is a champion for disadvantaged businesses in the federal marketplace. So that's where she's coming to us today from. She also graduated from Jacksonville University with a bachelor's degree in business administration. She is on so many different honor societies and boards and things like that. I could take up the whole hour really going through her resume, but this is something that she does day in and day out. And so we're going to be able to hear from an expert, somebody who's been doing this for years, and be able to learn and sort of hopefully enhance your business. So Nancy, I'm going to mute myself and let you take it away. Welcome, Nancy Alvarez.
Thank you, Jenny. Let's share here my screen. Happy to be here again this year with Ser Mujer. Certainly is a pleasure. What I did this time around is I wanted to cover most aspects of SBA. So the presentation is designed for anybody, whether you're starting a business, you're considering getting into business. If you have your business and you want to grow it, then again, we're going to talk about all the programs and services that the SBA has that you can utilize. And so let's talk a little bit about what SBA does in general. So in general, SBA helps small businesses start, grow, expand. And the last recover is anytime you are involved in a disaster, nationally declared disaster, you are entitled to take advantage of SBA's programs and services. So we are the smallest federal agency with the huge task here because we help our economy move. And really, we owe that to our small businesses. So again, our main focus is going to be in helping those entrepreneurs that want to start, grow, expand. So we have many different programs under each one of these categories, and then certainly our disaster program under recovery. So again, we're hoping that you walk away with a little bit of information to motivate you or get you moving in the right direction. But we want you to know that the SBA is here to support you. So we're going to provide from our counseling services to the different programs to loan. We're going to highlight some of those, but let's focus why the SBA has this mission to help small businesses grow, expand, and recover, right? And the main reason is look at the numbers. And this is just based on Hispanic-owned businesses, right? In 2019, Hispanic-owned businesses own over 4.5 million businesses and employed over almost 3 million workers. That's significant. That's how we keep our engine. I like to say we're the engine, right? The small businesses are the engine that keep this car running, with the car certainly being our small businesses. So let me move on. So that's the significance. Now, what do we do, right? Because we have to support you. So, what do we do to support you? We have different programs, we have different services. So, the first one I list here on this page is funding. Everybody needs funding to start your business. And there are different ways that you can go about starting a business and certainly funding your company, whether that is you borrow money from friends, family, or you go out to a bank, or you take out a couple of credit cards. We have a lot of people that do that. So we want to make sure that we provide small businesses with the funding they need, reasonable funding to run and expand their company. And so one of the things that we bring to the table as far as funding programs is our loans are guaranteed by the SBA. So the SBA is not doing direct lending. What we do is we provide a guarantee to the lender. Okay, that minimizes the lender's risk because we can guarantee up to 85% of that loan. That means that if that business goes bankrupt or goes down, then the SBA is responsible for that 85% that they certainly that we guarantee. So that's how we help. And not only that, we've created our programs to assist small businesses have some wiggle room to grow, right? When you take out a commercial loan, usually the bank is not going to give you the amount of time that the SBA gives you to repay back the loan. For example, if you go for let's say for a real estate, you want to buy the building or you're going to run your company, usually a bank can give you maybe 20 years, maybe a little less. The SBA goes up to 30 years on a commercial real estate loan. So again, different programs to accommodate different needs. If you read our website, it'll give you information of all our loan programs. Don't worry about learning them. You don't have to do that. Our lenders know the type of loans, and so based on what you share with them that you want, what are you trying to accomplish? They will work you in on the right loan for you. So again, these loans are tied to SBA's requirements. So the maturity of the loan, the interest rate, all that is SBA negotiating on your behalf, small business, where you end up on top. Then we go to the second topic here, contracting assistance program. Yes, that's my topic. And so if you're interested in exploring doing business with the government, I encourage you to join me next week where I'll be talking more about government contracting program. But what we created in this program is certifications that allow small businesses to compete with other small businesses. That means that you are you're in the same level playing field with other businesses. You're not competing against large businesses. So again, this program provides a lot of benefit. And here I'm going to give you a good tip about this. This is the best time right now to enter in government contracting, and this is the reason why. We have our procurement goals, and they, for the longest time, have been 5% for small disadvantaged businesses. There are other goals, but I want to touch on this one so that you understand the impact. It's been 5 years for many, 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 many years. Under the Biden administration, he increased that goal to 12%, from 5 to 12%. And the ultimate goal is that by 2025, that goal will go from 12 to 15. Now, think about the significance of that. If you look in terms of government contracting and how much the government buys, if you think about what would 15% be of $700 billion a year, that's what's reserved for small businesses. So this is a big program. And in addition to this, due to this incentive to accomplish these goals, the SBA wants to empower small businesses to be able to perform on the contracts. So we're just not going to create the programs for you to go out there and bid on these contracts. We are going to create educational programs, or we have created educational programs under the Empower to Grow program where we're offering you training related to contract, how to manage a contract, how to bid on a contract, how to understand what is a sources sought, everything you're going to need to be successful in government contracting, we're going to provide for you. And so again, that is free of charge. The SBA is covering that cost. And of course, we are a government, we're a federal agency. So, these are services that you pay through your taxes. The next one is counseling and technical assistance. And we recognize that small businesses have specific needs, right? They need certain expertise. I'm not an accountant. I took a couple of classes on accounting. I kind of know general financial statements and things like that. But we understand that experts can use financial statements to help you make decisions on your business. So during this counseling and training, we have partnered with some of the colleges, some of the other organizations like SCORE, the Women's Business Center, the Veterans Business Center, and they deliver the experts to you. So guess what? I'm going to let you in on another little secret. If you're starting a business, you need a board of advisors, right? Use these counselors who have so much expertise. Use them as your advisory board. They don't have to know that they're your advisory board, but you can go out to them and sit and meet with as many as you like and just pick their brains. If you are thinking about heading in another direction or maybe expanding your business, they are there to sit with you and brainstorm and give you some ideas. You don't have to take them all, but you never know. A good one might come out of that. So that's available as well, free of charge. Then again, federal contracting program, that's just talking about prime and subcontracting opportunities, where if you want to build capacity, we have what's called a subcontracting program where you can participate and do business as a tier contractor, meaning you're the subcontractor and you're starting to build your experience just with that work that you're doing for a prime contractor who is holding a contract directly with the federal government. Then we also have export and trade assistance. And under this category, we offer a loan program. So if you're interested in exporting, we certainly can provide a loan. The terms of the loan, again, vary from what we have on our regular 7(a) programs, which is our regular funding programs. But we have specialized individuals that will take you through the process. And we work very closely with the U.S. Department of Commerce, their export division, because they have the representatives that know the countries that you want to export and know the suppliers in those countries, and they can connect you with those. And then the SBA comes in and provides the funding. So again, all encompassing to help you be successful. We have implemented now community navigators, which is our next one, or regional innovation clusters. These are just organizations that have joined SBA in this effort to educate small businesses, to help small businesses grow and be successful while they're at it. So these are primarily grant programs where the SBA goes out and hires these organizations that are already working with small businesses, but now they're doing it, receiving assistance from the SBA. And again, this is in a way to expand the reach that the SBA has. As Jenny said when she started, I handle 72 counties. It's impossible for me to be in all 72 counties. So I am kind of the voice of our resource partners out there, and I connect small businesses with our resource partners, which are all over the 72 counties. Veterans Business Development. Again, you heard me say there is a business outreach center. If you're here in the DFW area, it's in Arlington. But if you're not, again, all these programs that I am highlighting, they are under the Small Business Administration, which means anywhere in the state where you are, you have access to these services and programs. All you got to do is visit our website, put your zip code, and it will give you who's the district office servicing you, and then all our local resources in that area to assist you. And then lastly, the disaster assistance, which I highlighted. We hope that you do not have to use this program. But if you are happen to be in some sort of disaster and you suffered either an economic injury or physical injury, don't hesitate to look at the SBA Disaster Assistance Program. As long as there is a declaration by the president, the area qualifies for the SBA's assistance, which usually includes a loan. And this is the only direct loan that the SBA does. And the interest rate usually is between 2 and 3/4. It doesn't go above 3. And they usually give you 2 years to start repaying back so you get a grace period of 2 years to start repaying back that loan. And again, you get 30 years on that loan. So a lot of benefits. And this is not just for small businesses. So if you were a renter or an owner and you were underinsured, as long as you are in a qualifying designated area, you can certainly take advantage of this program. Let's move on to our next slide. Here is our resource partners. And again, our resource partners can assist you in any aspect of business, from business planning to financial assistance. You need to understand your demographics. Who are your customers? They can help you with that market research. And again, all of them are going to provide training and educational programs so that you can benefit through most of the general programs that they have. So again, a lot going on. We have a network of resource partners of over 1,400 all over the country. So again, there's going to be somebody who can help you through the SBA in wherever it is that you are located. This one right here is a website that we have on our site, and we have revamped this website. This one has some training courses, and it categorizes in some main ideas. For example, if you're going to start a business, you can go into plan, where the training sessions in there are going to take you through the process of doing your research, planning your business, and documenting your ideas. And as you progress through the module, it'll help you with information on launching your business, on managing your company. That's another interesting part. Some of us have expertise in something that we can do and provide to the general public as a means in terms of a business. But we're not experts in running a business. So why go at it alone? Again, reach out to one of our resource partners that have the tools, the expertise, and they certainly can share those ideas with you. We also have the SBA Mentor Protege program. This is a tutorial. It tells you what it's all about, what are the benefits of finding a mentor, and how you can use the Mentor Protege program to scale your business and grow. That's an excellent program. Again, it's free of charge. The mentors are willing to mentor because part of the benefits that they receive is the opportunity to bid on government contracting as they teach you the ropes of how to run a business or whatever your objectives are with regards to that Mentor Protege program. Again, they also have, they could do federal procurement readiness. So one of the things that you might want to try to do is, when you're considering federal contracting, is doing a self-assessment of whether or not you're ready to do business with the federal government. And our resource partners have the tool to help you figure that out. So you don't have to scratch your head and try to figure out, okay, what do I need? Am I ready or not? And then certainly we cover aspects like, who's going to be your customer? Where are the contracting opportunities? And how the subcontracting opportunities are going to help me in terms of building capacity? What about the certifications? What will these certifications do for me? Which one should I apply? All that information will be shared. It's information that, again, you don't have to read. There's material, plenty of material for you to read if you're interested in reading. But if you are not, and you want the experts to share that information with you, certainly this is a great way to do that. And then the last one is federal solicitation. So we got to read those documents. We got to understand those documents. And so that helps out. Here's another great program that the SBA has funded, and it's called the Ascend program. And this one is a platform where a small business can go in there. It was originally designed for women, but certainly, if you're a male, you can certainly take advantage of these programs. They're not gender specific, meaning you're excluded because you're not a woman. So anybody can take advantage of this. And this is, again, a platform that allows you to go through the different processes of growing a business. So this is not your startup site. This is more of, I'm already established, I want to grow. Let me use this platform to see what kind of growth opportunities I have. And the program helps you kind of go through your plan. So again, another very helpful tool. Then we have a couple of other programs that the SBA have implemented and funded. One is called Boots to Business. The Boots to Business is designed to help our military members coming out of the military. If they want to start their business, certainly they could take the Boots to Business courses. And that's basically to help them transition from military to basically, let's say, entrepreneur. If many of you are probably on the line have been in the military, I was a military wife, so I totally understand how once you are no longer in the service, you're like a stepchild. You're out there and you're trying to figure out life on its own because the military kind of shelters you and you have your own place where you go to the store and the hospital and things like that. So again, this is our way of giving back to our military service members where they could get all the information they need and make the transition less painful for them. Then we have the Thrive. The Thrive used to be called Emerging Leaders. And this is like a CEO boot camp where you're going to be in this program for 8 months. The classes are 1 4-hour classes once a month. So you end up taking 8 classes of 4 hours. But you're also going to get homework. You're going to get to work with your peers. And the purpose of that is, or the purpose of the program is really to help you scale your business. So anyone that attends this usually has to have a gross income of about 250 or larger and want to expand, want to develop a plan that will help them scale their business. So we have excellent success stories with this program. It's wonderful. And most importantly, it's a curriculum of about $10,000-$15,000 that the SBA has implemented. And we pay for each one of those curriculums. So each district office that participates in the program can do up to 20 participants. And again, all that is paid by the SBA. And then we have the Empower to Grow. And I'm not going to go too deep into the Empower to Grow because you can find it on our learning platform. But this is a grant that the SBA has provided to specific lenders with certain expertise, mostly in the government contracting arena. And so they have different expertise, and their responsibility is to educate and help you be more competitive in the federal marketplace. That is either helping you identify where the contracts are, helping you submit your proposal on a contract, anything government related, you can find through this program. And again, SBA pays those contractors so that those contractors deliver to you, okay, and give you the knowledge and expertise that they have. Let's talk briefly about some of the success stories. And gosh, I could be here the rest of the half an hour going over some of the success story. And I feel so proud because it's really good to see these small businesses when they come in the program or when they visit the SBA, they're just starting, don't know the resources, don't know what's available to them. And a few years later, they're running their own business. They grow, they made revenues. And it's really fun to see. So let's move to our first success story here. And if you are not familiar with the lady on the left, her name is Linda McMahon. She was our administrator several years ago. And yes, Linda McMahon, the one that was involved or is involved with the WWF, the wrestling. She was our administrator for a while. Great person. She is so down to earth. So she came to our ceremony of awards to small businesses. And the lady in the middle was one of our contractors. The name of her company was Straycon. And so she was doing simulators and creating programs and providing technical support to Department of Defense. And this lady just rocked this program, and she became very successful. And she's here out of the DFW area. Her name is Deborah Paris. Wonderful lady. And then the gentleman on the right is certainly my boss, Herb Austin. Let's share another story. Dave Schuller, he was in the 8A program, and the 8A program is a business development program, and so was Deborah as well. And Dave he was an attorney by trade. He got into the program as a service disabled veteran owned 8A company. And I'm going to highlight this because this is like so important. A lot of people think about the 8A program as a minority program. It is not. Dave is you can see Dave is not a minority person, and Deborah wasn't either. So this program does, yes, allow you as a minority owned business to participate in the program. But really what we are looking for is those individuals that feel that they haven't had fair chance opportunities in federal contracting because of something. It could be either disability, it could be gender, it could be it could be a number of things. As long as you establish your what we call social disadvantage, go through the process and get certified by the SBA. You're in the program, and it's a 9-year program, one-time eligibility. It's so good that it's one-time eligibility, both for the company and the owner. So unfortunately, Dave passed away a few months ago. So that was really sad for me. You could tell that these companies are with us 9 years, and we really build these relationships with them. And it's sad to see them go from the program, but if they're doing really good, that's excellent. But then they stay in touch with us, and they become really extended family. So again, very successful. Started off in the program, just probably making a few $100,000 a year. And when he left, he had a couple of contracts under his belt, and he was in upwards of $4 or $5 million. And I wouldn't be surprised, I can't remember because he's been out of the program for a long time. He was probably over that amount. So again, very successful person. So this pie just represents a piece of government contracting. As you know, this is my subject. This is what I love to do. And so, why have a little piece when you can have the whole pie, is what I like to say. The government reserves 23% of federal contracts for small businesses. But certainly there are ways for you to carve out larger portions of this pie. And that's what I love to do. Sit down and talk about those strategies that are going to help you get there. And then, so how do you request local assistance? So it doesn't matter where you are, again, anywhere in the States, anywhere in the US territories, you have an SBA office there to assist you and there to connect you with resources in the local area. So it's like we're hubs, and we're able to send you off to the different partners based on your needs. So you can go to our website, and our website will give you information on the different programs. So you can go through our website and you'll see how much information is in there. But if you're looking for your local resources, like the SCORE counselors, the Small Business Development Center, the Veterans Business Center, then click on where it says local assistance. If you could see here is probably 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th tab says local assistance. When you go in there, you will enter your zip code, and it will give you all the local resources near you. Okay, so you can take advantage and visit with all of them, or you can just do one. So it's up to you. You're not limited, and you're not limited in how often you visit with the resource partner. As long as you need them, you use them. I used to have a client that used to tell me that she used to sleep at their door. She was a lady that started a trucking company. And so she used to visit with the Small Business Development Center. And she said that she was there on target every week to meet with her counselor. So again, some great success stories. How to utilize SBA's services? Again, it depends what you want to achieve. What's important for you to understand is that we can help in any aspects, because in-house we might not have the expertise that you need, but we certainly are connected with the resources, so we know who to send you to. So if you don't know where to go, find your local SBA office and schedule an appointment, or call and schedule a virtual. We're doing virtual calls as well. Our local office here, we're located in Euless. This is our address right here, and that's our main phone number. We also have a general inbox. It's the DFW District Office, period, email at sba.gov. So if you have any specific questions, any assistance, don't know what to do or where to go, feel free to send us an email and we will route you out to the right person. And lastly, take a look at our local website. So the main website is sba.gov, which is beautiful and it's awesome. But if you want to find out your local information, like who are our local resource partners, you can also visit our local website and also read some of the success stories that we have on our website. You'll see additional resources, and most importantly, you will have the calendar. Visit the calendar. We have all the training that is being provided by in-house staff like myself or some of our resource partners. So you don't have to go all over the place trying to figure out, okay, who's doing what. Take advantage of that calendar, because we also post our resource partner training opportunities. And that really concludes the end of my presentation. I do want to highlight that you can find a lot more information in Facebook and YouTube. We are in those channels. We're in X now, formerly Twitter. So you can definitely follow us on that. And these are great vehicles for you to stay up to date on what we're doing. Sometimes we will get special funding for a program, so it won't be on our website, but we certainly go and tweet it, or we put it on Facebook. And certainly I'm managing the district office LinkedIn account. So link in with me, because again, anything related that's coming up, any new program, any opportunities, I certainly post them in LinkedIn. So make sure that you visit our sites and request to connect with us. And this one is my profile in LinkedIn. And we're going to open it up to questions. Before we go into the questions, I wanted to post my contact information. So again, you can email me at nancy.alvarez@sba.gov. You can follow us. Again, this is our Twitter handle at SBADFW. And certainly those are our telephone numbers. So again, I welcome the opportunity to connect with you, whether it is to help you in guiding you through maybe government contracting, but if not, certainly making sure that I refer you to the right person that should be able to help you. So Jenny, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Nancy, you earned yourself a big deep breath. You went through that rapidly and efficiently. That was awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to draw everybody's attention to the chat, because Nancy's email address is actually there in the chat. So limited time only for Nancy's email to be able to have access to that. And anybody who's watching, please do post in here with any questions that you have, anything that came up. And I think sometimes somebody watches something like this and they're still just not sure exactly what they can ask, or what to ask, or what's involved, that sort of thing. Now that we've seen the information that you've given out, and now that we do have this solid chunk of 20 minutes or so to talk to you, I want to hear from your perspective what you do day in, day out. Because now this is my second or third time interviewing you and having you on, and I'm thinking I still don't know entirely what she does day in, day out. So can you kind of go through what that day looks like for you?
Of course. And like I said, the interesting thing about my job is the flexibility to think outside the box, right? I have the opportunity to interact with small businesses, understand their challenges, and come up with some creative ideas myself to share with them. That's part of my job. I think that's part of the part that I enjoy the most. Although I enjoy everything, but I seem to it hit the spot right there. It's like, oh my gosh, this is great. I have this idea for you. But on a regular basis, I do manage a staff of one right now. We're short one person. So I am helping with the portfolio. So we have 8 firms that we provide business development. So what does that mean, Nancy? Well, it means that when they came into the program, they came in with a business plan, what they wanted to achieve in the program. And so our job is to think outside the box with the resources that we have. And if the resources are not available through the SBA, then try to connect maybe with other resources that can help our firms. And so again, our goal, mostly everybody that comes into the A program comes with intent of growing their business and doing business with the federal government. And so with that comes some limitations, right? Like, okay, well, this is like coming out of college. I have now a diploma, but nobody wants to hire me because I have the experience. That's the main challenge, right? So we come up with creative ideas like, why don't you participate in a joint venture? A joint venture helps build capacity. You can implement that if you find another small business. So things of that nature is what I do in and out on a daily basis. And of course, certainly managing our staff here and everything else that falls on my lap that doesn't necessarily belong to me, but we're short staffed, so I do it too.
That's awesome. Sure stuff. Aren't we all, right? All of us do
Yes,
a little bit of presenting, a little bit of taking out the garbage, a little bit of answering the phones,
yes.
a little bit of everything. And I know you're grateful to do that. So this is a really good question, and this may be something that you're covering next week, but I'm going to ask you now, just in case you've got an answer to it. This person's wondering if there's a list of services that the government would purchase from a small business, or a list of services that the government would be interested in.
Yes, and that is such a great question because I always tell small businesses that are thinking about doing business with the federal government is, the government is huge, right? And this mandate of the 23% for small business or the 15% eventually for the small disadvantaged business, right? How the government is in need of small businesses. So I always tell businesses, you don't want to take a shotgun approach and try to shoot and see what sticks, right? You want to be focused on who you're going to market to. So the first thing I tell small businesses, once you do your self-assessment, okay, what am I capable of performing? Right? Do I have the financial capacity to support these contracts? Once you figure that and that's out of the way, then your next step is really to take a look at some of the websites that I offer. One of them, and I'll share that publicly, that is www.fpds, and that is stands for Federal Procurement Database System.gov. That website is where contracting officers for the federal agencies post every single contract that has been awarded. So that's the excellent place to use your NAICS code, right? Which is your industry. Your industry is represented by a number. Type in that number and see what agencies are buying and where are they located and who's the point of contact. That's one way. The other way is through the System for Award Management, which is the website that everybody that wants to do business with the federal government, even if you want to apply for grants, you have to create your profile there, and it's free of charge. So both websites are government websites, and they're both free.
And both free. That's our favorite word, Nancy. I mean, and I think that it's almost like I'm gonna say, like, I don't want to speak for people. So if you're watching and you're like, I don't feel like this, then please tell me. But it's almost like we're so used to not getting anything for free that we think there's going to be a portal for entry, or that there's like a catch or something like that. But with this stuff, I've done enough interviews with you. There really isn't a catch. It's really out there to help people.
No, it is. It is. And I'm glad that you bring that point because it also helps me highlight the importance of making sure that you're doing business with the federal government, or that you are connecting with a federal agency, because there are so many people out there trying to take advantage of what we do, that they use or similar names. Okay, they'll say SBA something. And people think that it's us. I can't tell you. I attended not too long ago a conference, and I was at that time I was at a booth. I was handling our booth, and a gentleman approaches me and he says, "Yeah, I am certified with you guys." And I said, "Oh, good. I'm glad. So, how did you find the process? Because it is a lengthy process." And he said, "Well, I mean, the process was okay. I just wasn't too happy about the $1,000 I spent to get certified." And I said, "What?" And I said, "No, we do not charge for our certifications." He said, "Yeah, look, I even have it right here." And he showed me. And it was a company that had part of SBA name in it, and he thought it was the SBA, and I said, "I am so sorry." I said, "That's not, I mean, it's a legitimate company because they are, but they charge to do that. And the thing is that we do it for free. We tell you how to do it for free. So you don't have to pay."
Right, you're leading the horse to water, right? If you were going to use like that analogy, and perhaps this other place that charged him, maybe he drank for the horse, or something, whatever. You kind of followed up with that part, but yeah, it is. So I'm glad that you're here and explaining this because prior to doing these interviews, I really didn't understand it either. And along those same lines, somebody's asking the question: Do you need an appointment at the business center, or how does that work?
Sure, yeah. We do have some walk-ins, but after COVID, things have changed significantly. And for a long time, lots of us were just teleworking from home all the time. We're just now starting to come in. So it's important for you to call and make sure that the person you want to speak with is available. And also remember, we're working with a smaller team. So sometimes we're just booked, so you don't want to end up in the office and not meeting with the person you want to meet because that person is already tied up in either appointments or something else. So that's important. Also, our resources, like SCORE has here in our office, they do have an office out there. And it's my understanding that they take walk ins, I think it's Tuesday and Thursday. So you might want to call the front desk if you're interested in exploring that, calling the front desk and saying, when are they there that I could come from, just walk in and come in and see a counselor. And you'll be meeting with a SCORE counselor, not with SBA, but with a SCORE counselor. And you remember that the difference between the two of us is that they have the expertise. We're mostly doing the marketing for our services, unless you're like me, where you're actually administering the 8A business development program. In that case, that's a little bit different. So, yeah, just be aware of that.
Okay, and then is the resource partner different than that?
So remember, there are various resource partners. So they can visit with SCORE. They could visit with the Small Business Development Center. They could visit with the Women's Business Center, Veterans Outreach Business Center. I mean, again, they're all connected to SBA because they're receiving funding for the SBA, and the purpose for the funding is certainly to give you the technical expertise you need to run or start your business.
If somebody sort of is looking to connect with SBA for a loan, for loan purposes, and they get denied for whatever reason, do they find out, okay, this is why, or this is how you can achieve this in the future, that sort of thing?
Yeah, you certainly can ask the lender. So, on our lending side programs, we allow the lenders to use their own application and criteria to evaluate those loans, especially if they have SBA's delegated authority, which some of them do. So, the difference between a preferred lender and a regular lender is that the regular lender would have to ask SBA to review and provide them the guarantee, where those that have SBA's designation as preferred, they have delegated authority to do the guarantee portion that the SBA does. In other words, they're acting for us. So you can sit down with your lender and request questions as to why. The other thing that you might want to do if you're exploring financing is we have a listing of lenders and how they rank. So every year we rank them because we want them to do some of the smaller loans, right? And usually people tell us, well, they're not doing the smaller loans, they're doing the larger loans. Well, we know that sometimes you got to start small, right? So we work with our lenders and we rate them based on quantities, based on the number of loans, who's made the most loans, and we average and tell people, this banker does average loans in the 250 range. And again, they're going to be rated in terms of who was the number one bank. We just have a number one bank that came from out of state to work here, and he is number one. And bless you, he is number one right now, just I think 1 year or two just coming into this market alone. So they're working with the small businesses.
Oh, wow. Okay. And are we talking about like the big banks that we all know of, or are these some of the smaller banks or even credit unions or?
Yeah, we have a combination. Like I said, this lender, and I don't know the size because I'm not directly involved with the lenders. We do have another division that works with the lenders. But it's my understanding that they're probably a medium size, more on the smaller size kind of bank that just came in, and I don't have the name either. Again, it was just my boss. I was listening to what she was saying, and I picked up on that because hey, this is a banker that can help one of my companies, right? So I'm always paying attention. So again, those are some of the scenarios. But if you look at the listing, that gives you some options there. Let me go and have a conversation. Let me get a feel for, what kind of loans and how willing are they to do, small business, maybe a startup loan or something like that. But at least the list gives you a starting point.
Okay, that's amazing. And so what would be the benefit if somebody's thinking, well, I guess I can just go to my bank and ask versus going through you guys? What would be the benefit of going through you guys?
So the benefit can be, for example, in the maturity of the loan. So you got to remember, as a small business, right, you need to be able to pay your short term, your bills, basically your short term debt. And so our loans, while they're made for longer duration, that means that your payment is smaller. So we're accommodating the need of a small business, and we are allowing them to grow. The banker might say, because I'm taking a risk, I don't want to go beyond 3 years, or I don't want to go beyond 5. Well, your your payments are going to be pretty high, and that happens a lot with the credit cards. A lot of people start off with a credit card, and those payments with a credit card can be very high. So, by the way, we also refinance debt. So if you happen to be in that situation where you started your business with credit cards, the SBA will do an analysis and will determine if there's benefit for you to do an SBA loan, because we're going to take all your debt, and there should be a 20% improvement in the payment, meaning we won't do the loan if we don't see an improvement of 20% or more. So you'll be saving yourself some money.
Oh, okay. You won't do it unless it helps the business or the
Yes,
person to save money.
yes.
Okay.
That means that, yeah, if we are able to accommodate that, that means that they have more money in their pockets to reinvest in the company rather than it's all tied up to their monthly payment.
Right. Do you see that happen often where somebody's started a business on a credit card and then they're like, wow, my business is going well, but I have so much credit card debt that this doesn't make sense.
We see it a lot.
Really?
We see it a lot. It happens a lot. A lot of people start their companies with credit cards.
I mean, I get it, right? If somebody doesn't have access to capital, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And so,
Especially
and
if
so
you go
there is,
visit, let's say, a larger bank, and the larger bank is not necessarily doing the smaller kind of loans, right? Sometimes we try to be a little conservative.
yeah, that is so true. When you go in to get a smaller loan, it's kind of like, well, they don't even do that. So then you're like, okay, well, I have a high limit on a credit card, which would be equivalent to a small loan. So then you just
Exactly.
do that. And what's the downside of doing that, of starting the business on credit cards like that?
Well, certainly you're going to be paying more.
Yeah.
Okay. And you might get to the point where if you have multiple credit cards, the payment for all of them is so much that it won't allow you to reinvest your capital into the business.
Yeah, yeah, that's tough. So if
Mhm.
somebody's in that position and they're watching right now and thinking, "Oh, I didn't know there was a way out of it," how do they, you go to SBA.gov and it's like, okay, there's a lot there. How did they, who's the first point of contact if they're in that position?
So they could go about it in two different ways. They can actually sit down with one of our counselors, whether it's a SCORE counselor or the Small Business Development Center. Any of our resource partners has the ability to do an analysis and let them know what the benefits are if they go with an SBA loan. So that's good. And our lenders and our our resource partners, they understand the lenders and they know who's doing the bigger loans and who doesn't want to do the smaller loans. So that's one option to do. And they will work with you in helping you create what we call a loan package, which really includes, the business plan, which is part of it. The other way is that you can go directly to the bank and say, okay, what are the possibilities here? And some of that possibilities are going to be whether or not you are your risk in terms of credit worthiness, or whether or not you have a business plan that the banker can read and considers it to be a feasible business plan that he can make back his money. So those are things that you can allow our resource partners to do for you, or you can go directly to the banker.
Now, if somebody, so that's for people who they've already started their business, they got a little credit card debt situation going on, they're coming in. If somebody's just fresh, like, I kind of have an idea, I've not done anything concrete with it, but now I just heard Nancy talk and maybe this group can help me. Where do they start?
Yeah, certainly our SCORE counselors are great at doing that. And the good thing is that you can request a mentor to work with you. They will assign you a mentor. So if you are not sure and you need like a brainstorming session, they would be great. Just let them know, hey, listen, I know I have this interest. I just don't know which way to go. And I need a counselor who can kind of help me and take me through a few brainstorming ideas till eventually you hit what you think you want to do. So that's a way to go at it. That's at least that's the way I suggest.
No, I think that totally makes sense. And then the mentors, how does that work? Is it an ongoing mentoring relationship or a
Yeah.
one-time thing?
Yes, it's an ongoing mentor relationship. So depends where you are. So if you're starting, you can find a mentor who's going to walk you through the step of that. So you're going to meet with that mentor for an extended period of time, as long as you want him, and you're not paying for that. So if you, for example, starting early, hey, listen, I want this meeting just to brainstorm, and you move from brainstorming to putting it together. Yes, how do I get this rolling now? That mentor is there to kind of take you through that process.
And who is the mentor? Another business owner or who
A
are
great question. Yes.
people?
So, our different resources or resource partners have different individuals, but let's talk about specifically about SCORE. SCORE are volunteers, and these volunteers are either entrepreneurs and they volunteer some hours to the program to help other small businesses, or they might have been entrepreneurs in the past, retired, and now they have this free time. They want to donate it and help small businesses. So you have all scopes of different expertise. And like I said, the good thing is that each one of them brings something different. One might have worked in a Fortune 500 company in the marketing department. You need a marketing person? That's your person right there. So again, there's different expertise. And when you're starting, finding the right counselor is, first of all, identifying where you are in your whole process. So if you're starting, hey, I need a mentor because I don't, where to start. And they'll pair you up with the right person.
That's incredible. I think people are like, what's the catch here? But it's not. It's just
You already paid. Everybody paid for it with your taxes. Yes.
right.
It's
Well,
a paid service.
it's true. It's like public school,
Exactly.
right? Or like the fire
Exactly.
department showing up when there's a fire.
Yes.
Although they may charge you afterwards. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know.
I think so too.
I'm not sure how
Depending
complimentary.
if they have to use a helicopter.
Yes, you're right. It's the helicopter. Oh, Nancy, I have learned so much from you today. This has been really, really enjoyable. I have like a page of notes here. I could keep asking you questions forever, but I know that we're getting close to our wrap-up time. But you are going to be here next week.
Mhm.
So I would love for you to give a little bit of a tease about what you're going to talk about next week so people know kind of what to prep for and what to expect.
Yeah, certainly. And so I am going to talk to that subject that's dear to my heart, which is government contracting. So if you're considering exploring growing your business and want to look at what this landscape looks like and what it might offer you, that would be the class to attend. We're going to be talking about all the tools we use.
And so this will it potentially let people know like, hey, I'm a have this service and I could do a contract with the government or earn one of these contracts?
Yes. So we're
Okay.
going to talk about, yes, how do you do this market research? Where do you go to? And I just shared with you as a tip one of the websites so they can start working on that and then ask me questions next week.
Yes. You guys do this because you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna think like, oh, my business, like me as like a host or MC, they don't need those. It's wild. They need like everybody.
Yeah,
So
yeah. The government buys a little bit of everything.
yeah, it's true. Well, Nancy, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun and as fun as we can have on a work call, right?
Yes.
It's been great. So you guys stay tuned next week because here's the deal. The replay of this session will be up by next Wednesday on Sarah National's YouTube channel. And that YouTube channel has so much. I swear it's like a free business school. Speaking of free resources, it is like a free business school for you. There are so many different videos and so many different experts speaking on there. You can just kind of play them on repeat, let them play. But this one in particular will be up by next Wednesday if you need a refresher. And then Nancy will be back Thursday to talk about those government contracts. And you're going to be blown away by the opportunities that exist within the government. So I'm excited for that. It will be here, same time, same place. So 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on this same platform. And I have to give a plug once again to the 60th annual conference. Yes, 60 years of service, employment, redevelopment. So it's not coming up till April. So don't say I didn't warn you. When it comes to be April 4th and you're thinking, I don't want to miss out on the fun, then you'll be able to say, oh, Jenny warned me. I put this on my calendar, April 4th at the Irving Convention Center in Las Colinas. So it is here in Texas where we are. If you're not in town, maybe you come and visit us for it. It is free. And a lot of the speakers that you hear during these sessions virtually are actually going to be there in person for this event. I was able to attend last year and it was wonderful. I got to meet a lot of you, which was really, really fun. So save the date, 60th year of SARE, Irving Convention Center in Las Colinas. And again, it is free. Save the date. The replay of this session will be up by next Wednesday, and I will see you all a week from today. Thank you again, Nancy.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye, everybody.